It's a good AGam in Kansas morning. Good morning. Let's take a look and see what's coming up today. First, it's the issue of extending the life of the Ogallala aquifer in Kansas with insights from Tracy Streeter, director of the Kansas Water Office. Duane Roth, owner of Big D Farms in Holcomb, and Nick Hatcher, a farmer from Liberal. Then Steve and Kelly Hazen reflect on the recent Starbuck Wildfire. And we'll end with two stories about relief efforts for orphaned calves, one by members of the Four Leaf Clover 4-H Club in Meade, and the other from Dixie Harlow and her family. Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Well, it's good to be back out here at the Duane Roth farm here north of Garden City in Holcomb area to look at his water technology farm. As he was one of the first 3 technology farms to start in Kansas last year, and so we learned a great deal from his experiment last year, and K-State's providing a lot of good technical support here, and now Duane's taking it to a new level, just focusing on the moisture probes today, which the probes are really I think the linchpin in solving this aquifer problem with new technology, because regardless of what type of sprinkler system you use, knowing what the soil profile looks like and what it needs for water enables the producer to turn the sprinkler on and turn it off and have some confidence that he's got a full profile down there for the plant. And so I think water saving starts with these probes, and there's a lot of options out there for producers, and Duane, working with all the vendors and different manufacturers, has done a great job of bringing them all together here today and basically having a show and tell on which ones work, and so that way it gives producers some insight into which package works best for them. And you know, when you couple this with a water conservation area or a local enhanced management area where we're making some reductions to extend the life of the aquifer, this technology is going to prove to us that we can maintain our yields, maintain our profitability, and extend this vital resource for western Kansas. You know, in this community up here in northern Finney County, we've got a nice nucleus of producers, Duane and his neighbors, that have banded together and really feel strongly about the need to extend the life of this aquifer, and I really appreciate them making this event today so that you know, we've got producers from beyond Finney County and Kearney County here today. I've seen folks from all over Kansas, and I think some other states are even here today to look at this technology. And I think, you know, Duane's efforts and the state's efforts to work on the Ogallala is being viewed by other states even. Most of these vendors have been partners on this technology farm and others. I think if you want to contact the water office, go to our website. We've certainly got some information on technology farms. Kansas State University would be a great resource. We've got Jonathan Aguilera here, and the folks at the Garden City Experiment Station have a ton of information. They've been doing an evaluation of mobile drip irrigation for 2 growing seasons now, and so those folks would be great places to start having a local conversation. The GMD has the Regional Conservation Partnership Program in Garden City. That's a great place to go to get information as well. So I'd start probably just locally here, work with the GMD and K-State to get more information.
To see this show and past episodes of AGam in Kansas, go online to agaminkansas.com.
Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego is driven by the spirit of American ingenuity. Come in for a new Chevrolet car, truck, or SUV. If we don't have exactly what you want, we'll find it for you. And we also have a great selection of used cars. We make sure you have an easy, fun, and transparent sales experience that saves you time and money. But if you want high-pressure salesmen and hours spent in the finance office, you'll just have to go elsewhere. Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're making car buying great again.
It's time, the Great Bend Farm and Ranch Expo, April 5th through the 7th in Great Bend, Kansas. This is your regional expo held in the heart of Kansas. J.D. Wing Horse Clinician all 3 days, sponsored by T-Cross Ranch and Bobby Norris Realty. Bradford Cattle Dogs, Border Collie demos all 3 days. Live cattle, beer garden, 80 acres and 3 buildings of exhibits. Corporate sponsors American Hat Company, the Great Bend Co-op. Go to starexpos.net for more information. April 5, 6, 7.
Hey folks, Dr. Dan from Doc Talk. Have you asked yourself, how can I help provide relief to wildfire victims? Well, you can go to the Ashland Community Foundation, or you can go to the Kansas Livestock Association Foundation and make monetary gifts. Another way, you can buy this beautiful print that was painted by Dr. Eva Gardner of the Gardner Angus Ranch of Ashland and Clark County area before the fire. This painting will be sold through the Kansas Livestock Association Foundation, and all proceeds will be provided to victims of the wildfire.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source, together we grow.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Wheat. Learn more at rediscoverwheat.org.
Today we put this demonstration on kind of a small tech show for soil moisture probes. We feel that there's so many out there right now that is going to give a farmer an opportunity to view which probe will best fit his farm to manage and conserve a little bit of water in a future growing season. We're just putting together the tech farms, and hopefully more people start coming to them. It's hard, you know, guys are busy. It's hard to get pull away from your job or your work with what you're doing on the farm. But just keep further demonstrating, and I guess the key is going to be the data gathering information. It's really going to take data to show, you know, we can reduce this and still have a profitable margin on the farm.
I'm a farmer, producer locally in Liberal, Kansas, farms all around Liberal. Been there my whole life. Grow mostly corn, a little bit of alfalfa, wheat, and every once in a while potatoes. The technology farm that we're planning has a wide variety of aspects to it. Initially, my whole entire farm is an experiment right now. One of the things that we're most focused on is trying to eliminate wheel track issues. A lot of the problems we have are when we shut a sprinkler off, say we get a large rain, and trying to get those machines started back up. Sometimes they'll take half a day or a day to get those unstuck. And these large farms have quite a few pivots, and if you have a large percentage of those stuck, you're risking that crop on some of those fields that you get to at the last minute. And we're trying to eliminate that so that we can be more efficient with being able to shut our sprinklers off when we need to and be able to start those back up.
In the last 10 years, in our area where we farm, Ogallala has dropped about 70 feet. Last year we had adequate rainfall, over 20 inches. We had surface water, and we still dropped 2 foot in some areas. So we're going to have to find a solution to lessen the decrease every year from pumping of the Ogallala.
One of the things that we are going to have soil probes on our farm, and one of the things that we plan on doing with that is being more efficient with our water. When the soil or when the crop actually tells us it's time that we need to water, we want to be there and have the water accessible to that crop. And we also want to be able to shut that sprinkler off when necessary. There's other technologies that we're trying as well. And we've got a wide variety of probes, other sensing technology for the crops themselves, and trying to manage our wheel tracks are basically the 2 main operations that we're going to try to accomplish with our tech farm.
I'm hoping where this will go down the road for water conservation is that just for the future generations that are coming back here to western Kansas, we do got the ability to further the Ogallala, and we got the technology. We just have to implement it. It's going to have to be kind of a united team deal to do it, and so trying to get everybody to do it. everybody's willing. It just takes time to get the message out.
Well, we've already started some of our wheel track mitigation right now. And we are planning on, here in the next 30 days, probably having some of the sensing technology for the crops themselves, and have some of these water probes put in place. So here within the next 30 days, hopefully we'll have this technology farm at least started in operation, but maybe not technically on paper, but it has already begun.
I guess it would come back to boots on the ground. You know, we're the ones turning the pivot on, we're the ones shutting it off, and if we can save a couple inches up front of the growing season, and then maybe turn the pivot off at the end, maybe a couple more, it's going to be upon us, our responsibility.
I can tell you that being self-regulated, in my opinion, is by far the better way to go. When we control our own destiny, we have a better chance of doing more things with our water than what we would be if we were regulated.
It's time, the Great Bend Farm and Ranch Expo, April 5th, 6th, and 7th in Great Bend, Kansas. 700 booths filled over 80 acres of exhibits. Dale Brisby, the 6th and 7th at 1 o'clock, sponsored by American State Bank. Find all your livestock equipment needs, precision tillage equipment at the Great Bend Farm and Ranch Expo. Free admission, free parking. Corporate sponsors American Hat Company, Great Bend Co-op. Go to starexpos.net. That's April 5, 6, 7. You don't want to miss it.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop liquid crop nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information. Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org. This segment brought to you by SureCrop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
I was breaking the fire. I was shutting the fire down, and I got to that draw. Anyway, I got out here on the road, and my lights were getting dim, and I looked, and I was squinting. What in the heck? And I looked behind my shoulder, and the flames were shooting up the back of that cab. So I pulled in the ditch and jumped out, and the rest is history, I guess. You know, it just melted that tractor. We went to the feed store this morning. This guy, the feed store, there's a father and son, and the son comes out and he hands us 2 envelopes.
The letters were sent out with a truckload of steel posts that were delivered to the feed store, and any farmer or rancher that needs them can go in and pick them up, and then you get a letter from the students from that class. So it's pretty touching to.
Lots and lots of good.
And then in one letter, the child was going to send us $10. She had $10, so she's going to send $10 to help with expenses.
This one letter says, we want to cheer you up, hope to cheer you up for your loss and your fire. I got a joke to tell you. What do you call a cow that goes to church? And then she put a holy cow. And, you know, it chokes me up.
The idea that they're thinking about you and that they care is it's just so cute. Very humbling.
KFRM is one of the largest farm radio stations in the nation, dedicated to informing and entertaining rural listeners from northern Oklahoma to southwestern Nebraska. You can catch KFRM in many ways. Of course, 550 on the AM dial, streaming at KFRM.com, or on your smartphone by going to the TuneIn Radio app, or on AGam in Kansas on Tuesdays and Facebook every day of the week. KFRM, tune us in. You'll be glad you did.
Tarwater Farm and Home has been family owned and operated since its beginning in 1978. What you need for farm and agriculture, lawn and garden, clothing and footwear, and so much more. You'll be surprised at what you'll find in this huge store. They have what you need and lots of it. So come take a look. You'll discover that customer service is first and foremost. Always has been with the Tarwaters. Tarwater Farm and Home, 4107 North Topeka Boulevard.
Person who's involved in ag production and cattle ranching, Bill Rischel here in North Platte, told me about Kansas Regenerative Medicine. And after talking to Dr. Pope, we did a lot of reading and researching, looking on the internet about it. I guess the thing that impressed me is that he told me, he said, if we don't think it's going to help you, we're not going to do it. I thought that was a very good approach. I'm a former athlete, played college basketball, played overseas after college, had some severe trauma on the right ankle, right knee, joint in my hand also. This brace is what I had to wear all the time. Now I don't wear this during the day. That's a real improvement for me. My knee doesn't bother me. This joint came around quick. It was the first thing I noticed improving. You can see in the background here there's different fish and game that I hunt. The ability to walk was impacting my outdoor endeavors. I think it's really valuable, and encourage anybody that's interested to go down and at least do a consultation with them.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
So this is our calf project, the Orphan Calf Relief Project of the Southwest Kansas. This is my 4-H club here, the Four Leaf Clover 4-H club, and we're here from Meade. So far we've taken in about 96 calves, and we have them divided among 25 different families. We try to keep about 2 each just so they can get the TLC that they need and just all the proper care. We do have some families that have 3 or 4, just depending on how much they're willing to take on and the shape of the calves that they're in. These 7 here are the ones that my family are feeding, and we got pretty lucky with ours. We only have one that was burned pretty badly, and she has some cinched hair, but other than that, they're all doing well and just treating them as we're seeing that they need it.
We've taken in 5 calves to feed and to care for and to help them. And we feed them 3 times a day, once in the morning, once at noon, and then supper eating at night. Since I'm so young, I really can't do a whole lot, and if this is what I can do to help, then this is what I want to do.
I'm helping out with 2 calves. I think it's just about being able to help out, because I like to be able to help out with cows. This year, I also get to show a bigger cow for a second-year bucket calf.
Yes, this has been the biggest disaster, but us helping out these cows has been a great help for all of us. But then one thing was, for me, is if that fire had turned, it would have gone towards my grandpa's house. I know if we'd lost our stuff and we had bucket calves, I know people would have helped us out, and so I'm glad I can help these people out with theirs and raise them good, and so we can give them back and they'll be able to start it all over.
I have 3 calves. They're all in pretty good shape. One of them's pretty young. We feed him 2 to 3 times a day, and I've been in 4-H for almost 2 years.
4-H is really fun, and it's about helping other people out. It makes me feel like you're a great person.
The new Better Horses Network is worldwide, presented by Lucas Oil, featuring worldwide radio and TV with iconic hosts like Al Dunning, Sharon Camarillo, Ernie Rodina, Lindy Birch, and Craig Cameron. With American Cowboy, Horse and Rider, Brushy Creek, Cavenders, and Ride TV. Worldwide radio and TV, the all-new Better Horses Network.
As fourth-generation farmers themselves, Hein Brothers Ag Service understands the risk and rewards of farming. So when it comes to quality aerial and ground application, fertilizer, ag chemicals, and anhydrous ammonia, call Hein Brothers Ag today, 800-760-4964.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
When we talked with Rochelle and we heard about the 4-H'ers up here taking in the orphaned calves, we chose as a family that we would like to try to help out. Rochelle and Aaron kept in touch with us and originally just started with 4 calves. They were the ones in roughest shape. They weren't taking a bottle when we took them home. They had some severe, you can see where some burns were already at that were pretty visible to the eye. That night we got home, we had one that was not doing it good at all. You could tell where her side had been completely singed from the fire. We laid her down, you could see the steam coming up. We covered her in straw to try to stabilize her body temperature. We really were not sure she was going to still be with us on Saturday morning. But we went out to do chores that morning and she was turned a different direction, uncovered from the hay, had her head up. So that was a definite sign of hope for us. Getting these little babies home, not... You're gonna cry. I am gonna cry because this is what they lost and this is what they get left. And so for a little over a week and a half now, we have been washing burns and doctoring burns. We have one calf who has, 2 calves that have burns across their necks and up on their faces. We have been cutting and washing dead hide off just so it can heal. So far, everything we've taken off has had good, fresh, pink flesh underneath it. It's not infected. We have had 0 infection with it in the time we've had them. We have one that has graduated outside of the 4, and it's such a blessing to watch him thrive and be happy and run around his pen. The other one, we have one, she has a pretty good burn around one of her eyes. Today the vet came and told us that we could send her outside if we stabbed her up her eye really good every day, and she could go out in the morning for most of the morning. So that's 2. That is 2 that we have, that are thriving so well. And it's nice that, with all of our hard work that we can do that for these ranchers who have lost so much. So then we have the other 2, they have some good burns, like I said, on the sides of their faces, around their eyes, on their mouths, but they look good. The vet was very impressed with them. We have been doing a salve with aloe and colostrum powder that we've been putting on them. We have put almond oil around their eyes so that way we can keep that flesh hydrated. Ointment? Yeah, we've been putting ointment on them. Jamie actually gets to spray them down with some lavender water every night. Yep. So she kind of enjoys that a little bit. That's her part of helping as much as she can. Then so as we wash this flesh and these burnt hides, we snip off every little bit that starts lifting up so that way we can keep that fresh coming and not getting infected underneath it. Trying to create as less scar tissue as we can with it. We took in one on Friday night so we were on a week then. That wasn't doing very well at all. We've started washing him and working with him, and the vet today was very hopeful that he was going to maybe come out of this. He takes the bottle very, very well. His burns are on his back legs and underneath his belly, but he's looking very, very good today, and the vet was very pleased. And so we're excited and hopeful that if we can keep his ability to thrive going and his willingness to go, that he'll come out of it as well. So we're working our way up and hoping to get as many of these guys back as we can and to keep them going as well as they have. The kids have been getting up every morning and going to do chores, and they were on spring break last week, so it worked well for them. This week's not so much spring break, and they're still getting up early and helping. They're staying out as late as they can at night to help. Between doctoring and giving bottles at night, it takes us about 2 hours to wash and get their wounds cleaned up and salved and get good food down them. And so we're hopeful that in a couple weeks they'll even be thriving more.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.